Welcome to Raven's Intuitive Reads. I have shuffled. Let's begin. Not yet. I may not speak on that, but we got action in reverse with woman holding the coin in the upright. So what I'm feeling from this immediately is that you hold all the abundance within you at this time. You are truly aligned with who you're meant to be. I feel like, it's real quick, let me get into a story. The past couple of days, I've had a lot of what I thought, and it could have very well been spiritual warfare, but what it really was a way of my soul coming to. In the midst of me having this horrific couple of days, I seem to have lost my name tag, right? With my authentic name on it, okay? I'm telling you, I found it today. But today happens to be really good for a reason, specifically because I came to. I learned how to really see that I had to change my way of thinking, and not just that, but the way that I approach things, the way that I see things, to gain better clarity. There's many ways to think about a situation, okay? There's many ways to see a situation, to view a situation. Like right now, for instance, because of the way that my fight or flight mode, right? I've just come out of something very, very traumatic. I know for a certainty I have PTSD behind it. Like I have, I had a serious bout of depression the other day because someone triggered me, and if this trigger wouldn't have existed hadn't I have gone through what I have gone through. Okay, so I'm basically milking away all the trauma that I've experienced and coming to, you understand? So with that being said, I was in alignment with a specific wavelength that was trauma-based. I am a fighter indeed, but a part of that fighter mentality, there's like the inner child was a victim still, you understand? Like my adult version of myself was still fighting for my inner child, okay? My inner child is healed. I don't need to fight for them anymore. I see everything as it should be seen. I really do live this, but I've come full circle today about it. There's still chaos in my life, don't get me wrong, but that's not my personal chaos. I'm learning to separate myself from that fight or flight mode. So, all that to say, I'm bringing myself to the now. Maybe in the past, when the time was right and it was genuine, no doubt, I would have seen this as somebody wants to stop your forward movement because they're envious of you being in this position. But what I see now, because my spiritual downloads have also heightened, it's crazy. Like my intuition, I don't even know who the past version of me is. What I see here is that you need to slow down and not rush the process. It's okay to take time to rest. You're going to overload yourself because you already have the gift that's inside you. You've always had it. You just needed to realize it. So no harsh, rash decisions. Pause. Pause yourself. Your anxiety that you can gain from overdoing it could affect the shoulder plexus, could affect the way that you physically move. And you're already in top tier health. You want to keep that up. Your soul is in top tier health. And if you drive yourself to rush in a hasty manner towards things and situations, towards goals even, you could drive yourself to physical ailments. I feel like all the clutter of the past is out of the way now. Now all that's left is you. The only person or thing truly standing in your way, because you got the tools to figure out how to handle the enemies, right? Which I don't even like calling them enemies, because today I don't feel like, I've never felt it, but I really fucking feel this. They're not enemies. They're just people that are lost. They're in their own little boxes. They're just lost. They're not your enemy. They're confused. Hold on a second. I gotta do something real quick. All right. Welcome back. Sorry, I had to job related, but anyway, I lost my thought. Obviously, I was hoping I could hold it on, but anywho, here's the point. You don't want to burn yourself out before you can finish out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ultimately, there are 2 extra cards here that I did not flip out. We'll flip them out now. So yeah, I feel like this here, maybe that was a part of the negativity that used to be attached to you. It's not just a toxic ex-partner, but it's really just the way that you did things. Like maybe you worked yourself to the bone. I think I've said that in a previous read. And yet you still stand. Correct. Yes, I did say that in a previous read. But here's the thing. This is different, too. You worked yourself to the bone to where you worked yourself to burnout, right? You don't want to do that. That was actually some form of negative spirit on you, if you will, to work yourself to the point of which you get so tired and burnt out that you don't want to do anything else. And maybe there was something that you had to focus on, that you were developing, that you couldn't quite focus on because you were so burnt out to get to it. That is a form of distraction as well. Be careful. Don't let your ego beat your body to a pulp, right? Like, look, if it can wait, it can wait. Is it serious to the point of which you can't wait? Is it life and death? Let me put it that way. Is it a life and death scenario that you have to finish out to the end? Or can you pause, take a moment, and breathe? Rub your legs, rub your arms, rub your back, or, you know what I'm saying? Take a chill pill, sit down in a little bit of silence, because you don't want to burn yourself out. That's what I'm getting. But also, it's like the greatest form of self-love to give yourself a moment to breathe, because the collective I'm speaking to, you're in it. You are in the season of winning. Like, you've made it. You've passed a lot of tests. Okay? And the final test, I feel, well, there's no final test, right? But I mean, the ultimate test, I'd say, is exceeding yourself, exceeding whom you used to be. Overcoming what you did towards yourself to hold you back, in essence, right? I feel like in your life, you had plenty of devils, right? Demons, whatever. Negative energies, people with attachments come into your life to distract you. That was just the tip of the iceberg. I feel like the evil energies came in and put all this on you to make you lose focus on the main objective, which is yourself. If you can conquer yourself, ultimately, if you can conquer yourself, then you can open doors to self-discipline, mental clarity, and the ability to take charge of any situation. That way, when you have full control of yourself, when you have full knowing of yourself, when you know your true limitations, and you see and you respect and love yourself enough to take heed on that and pause and reflect, rest, then you can have the energy to truly not only accomplish your goals, but dodge bullets from pointless energy that tries to come in and zap your energy from you, derailing you from your divine purpose. I feel like you're meant to create something beautiful here. Distractions are out of the way. Now, the final distraction is what you put upon yourself. How hard are you on yourself? And what do you put out there that takes precedence over the main objective, which is not only conquering yourself, but the thing that you're supposed to work on that's going to elevate you even further? That's what I'm getting. The time is now to really take a minute to breathe. That's because without that, you can't have true clarity, you know? And all these people, all this karmic shit that this collective has dealt with past people, past energies, those were distractions. They wanted you to kill yourself behind the distractions, you see. They wanted you to limit yourself behind these distractions. Dead or alive, limit yourself, you understand? The death is the ultimate limitation, right? I mean, at least on this plane, as far as this plane is concerned. We're meant to help people here with whatever it is you're creating. You're writing a book, you're writing a screenplay, you know, whatever it is you're doing, you know, whatever it is that is going to help. I'm talking to creators here. Got blossoming abundance and hostilities. I feel like, with all that being said, this is what you want to step into. This is what you want to keep going. Also, what I'm getting is, if you have any resentments, if you think negatively of the past, it could affect you seeing how you're living in your blessings right now. You understand? But also, I think I speak to people who have overcome these things. Be careful that they don't arise again in your mind. Like, you could be like, I don't know, washing the dishes, right? And then suddenly, boom, someone pops up in your head that you haven't thought of like forever. And you happen to have a negative memory with that person. And then you just kind of think about it for a second. And then, you know, it could just distract you from living in the moment. Don't let that happen again. Oh, again, maybe this has happened to you plenty of times. The point, this is the season of really getting into control of your destiny by controlling yourself, by having more discipline. The worst is gone now. You went through it. You have battled through it and fucking won. You won your soul. So now that you have your soul, how are you going to conduct yourself? Because as far as what I could see, you're in a shield. You're in a bubble of white protection. Okay, you are in an impenetrable force field. You and everything that you are, right, that you have. The only way that something outside of it can penetrate is if you allow it. And maybe you've had these lessons before, but you needed the clarity to finally see that that was so. Maybe you've let these things in over and over again, not realizing that the entire time you had the power to simply say no and keep them locked the fuck out indefinitely. Because if they cross the threshold after you say no, that's criminal intent. That's the case. Set up them cameras, stay protected, but listen, because when they fall, and they will, if they're look, whomever these past energies are, if they try it again, this time you'll be prepared and you'll have updated evidence. And then what? Done. That's what. They'll be done. So, that's pebble in your shoe, though. They're out the way. Because one thing's for certain, if they try it this time, they won't be able to come back from it. This time, they can't make you the scapegoat, the laughing stock, because you're not letting them in anymore, right? So what's left? You. And how you think. How you control yourself. How you discipline yourself to get shit done. Stay true to the task. Don't let anything derail that. And I can sit here and say, oh, well, it's black magic and evil entities throwing these thoughts in your mind to make you, and that could be some of the case, but most of the time, especially when you're coming out of a situation like this, it could be you just reliving trauma that you've experienced. And it could be simply because this is something that your body and your brain is used to. You're working out the kinks. You're releasing the old and inviting the new. So these things are going to slowly drain out of you. And maybe people are too scared to throw magic at you at this time. Maybe it's just coming from you. Discipline your mind to accept better for yourself. When those sneaky thoughts come in, release it and do something different. Don't dwell on those thoughts, because that's opening a door. Let those thoughts go. They're thoughts. They cannot hurt you unless you allow it. And then when you do, you're in a crying frenzy, and you're alone, and then you feel crazy because you don't know who to talk to, and now your whole day is ruined. And for what? When you had a whole day mapped out to do something, but you allowed that same cycle of the past to creep in on you. It's like a version of Stockholm's, right? But it's internal Stockholm syndrome. You got the physical out the way. Now it's time for the mental part. Clean the mind. And only you can have the power to do this, because you're the woman holding the coin, man or woman. You know, you have love here, the angel of love backing you up. Your heart is open. Your heart is open to receive. And that's another thing, okay? When your heart is open, when your heart chakra is open, right? When you've released all this poison out of your life, and when your heart is open, some of these thoughts can come back, because that's a way of your body cleansing itself, right? Your heart is open enough to see all these things and have you properly evaluated, right? Sometimes it's a necessity. Feel it, but don't hold on to it. Release it. You have to do this so much that it becomes an art form that you master. Okay? Trust me, I know. My whole life I've rehashed bad, terrible memories of my childhood and, things that took place as I moved along in life, would constantly rehash it, would speak to God about it, rehash it. A lot of people pray to God, right? They have they have a song and dance. Yeah, I'm going to get to this in a minute, because this is going to wrap up what I was just saying just now. But everybody has their own method of praying, and it's beautiful. Keep up the good work. They get on their knees and they pray with their hands, or other ways they pray in front of a candle, or for me personally, I speak to God like He's in the room. I'm doing something, and I'll just be like randomly talking to God about something. All right. And before anybody's weird in the room that's like, oh, well, you see God? Like, what's He look like, weirdo? please, people go to church every Sunday, right? Some people do, some people don't. People have different ways of praying and worshiping. This is mine, so go fuck yourself if you got an issue with it. But I speak to God, like, because God's always been in my life. I just didn't realize it. You know what I mean? Like, that's another thing. Anyway, what was I saying? That's something that you would have to do to gain balance. But pick and choose what you're going to, because if it's something that you've already mastered and been through, why are you thinking about it again? For what? It's a waste of time. It's wasting your time. And maybe this is something that you're used to. This could be a form of magic, or it could be you bleeding out something that you used to do that drains you too. You understand? Don't be so hard on yourself, because you don't want to knock yourself out of alignment, and unintentionally. Don't be your own stagnancy, man. Does that make sense? 2121. Oof. Okay, we got indecision in reverse. Archangel Uriel, spiritual connections. We got the sun in reverse. And then we have these two other cards here. Journey and the door to value. I take it like that. There's nothing to be indecisive about at this time. Your intuition is heightened. You're speaking clearly and concisely with the divine at this time. So with that being said, you understand and know that you haven't seen the last of your blessings. This isn't all you're going to get. It's hidden from you on purpose, because you are supposed to master yourself. Really. Gain more discipline. You understand? If you don't, you'll miss out. Discipline is important. Poise, silence, taking breaks. A lot of the time I said it was a lot about who you give to and who you reserve your energy for, right? Now, it's for what you reserve your energy for. What thoughts are you going to allow feed into your reality at this time? And how long do you spend or plan on meditating or thinking about it? And if it is a thought or an idea that you've already mastered, are you going to repeat it again? How badly do you want this journey? How badly are you willing to work for it? Because sometimes it could be as simple as changing your daily habits. The way you think. The way you move. Reserving your energy for the right things. I feel like because of the fact that the sun is in reverse and Uriel is here, that God is speaking to you so clearly. And I believe you understand this. You know that God hasn't shown you everything just yet. You have to master yourself to get to this part where it all comes into fruition. You cannot get here without the discipline. One thing's for certain. It's not something to even second guess. It's not something that you're stubbing your, it's something to question, because you're not indecisive about it. You know you want this. So now it's all about putting in that work, mastering your mind, and truly finding yourself. Yeah, I think that's it. 2:46 is the time. 2:46. Everything's in twos. Take your time, right? Take your time. Usually the number I see a lot is it's all threes, right? Everything's in threes, but this time I just everything I'm getting even numbers. So a two-step in it. I don't know. Twos. It's like you want to hold yourself back before you get to that third step. Just, but not in the way that just sounded. It's like take your time before you get to that next step. Does that make sense? All right. I just feel like that's it. That was like a full circle thing too, because wow. Okay, hold on. Anything else before I move on to a different deck? Being told to take it. Oof, all tied up. Woman home the coin. Don't become overwhelmed by your blessings either. Like, because that can be like a form of entrapment. But also, that's it. Don't become overwhelmed by your blessings. Don't feel like you have to rush through and be hasty. Again, rest, because it is a form of entrapment if you feel like you have to complete something with haste. There's a quote, and I wish that I can remember it, but it's essentially saying that, just because you put it out quickly doesn't mean it's going to be the best version of yourself, right? But if you take your time and do it right, discipline yourself to get the steps right, calibrate every move that you make before you put it out there, like before you get to the point of putting it, like, do you understand? But within yourself, you will come up with the best version of yourself or the product of what you're putting out there. Does that make sense? Whatever goal this is that you're trying to, which I think I already know, but I'm not gonna, it's very specific. Take your time, rest, and manage the way that you think on the daily. Intrusive thoughts come in, take in what you know you should, and evaluate it carefully and release it. Don't stay stuck in these things because you're doing a purging. It's just a continuous purging until you don't have to anymore, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out in the next card read. But I mean, for whomever I'm speaking to right now, this is where you're at. Don't become overwhelmed by it. Don't feel like you got to rush and be in a hasty pasty. Okay? All right. I'm going to switch the deck. Yeah, because you'll unintentionally tie yourself up, and then you might want to give up. Dang. No, don't do that. Don't jeopardize yourself on accident because you're tired. You know what I'm saying? All right. I already did shuffle these cards, so any final messages for the collective before I go? Okay. Okay. Literally, that's simple. Guarded and protected. Do not question that the divine has your back, because they do. Thank you for protecting my loved ones and me, ensuring that we are safe and that all of our needs are met. I now accept your help gratefully and gracefully, knowing that it's right for me and all others to accept heavenly assistance. Know that you're protected. Again, if there's chaos happening around you, you've been through enough to know that they are protected too, and that if they Everybody's on their own journey, man. You cannot force people to do things that are best for them. And you cannot overwhelm yourself with trying to get them to see things. You have to let people come to in their own divine timing. Okay? Whatever chaos is happening outside of you, know that they are protected. And if they choose to walk the way that they walk, despite of how they do it, they are still protected. It is their personal journey. Do not take it personally. That is so important to know. You and them are protected. Should I pull more? I was going to wrap it up there. I'm being told to pull one more. And again, look. Keep your eyes on the targeted intention. All that is left now, really and truly, is you. So don't stop yourself. I'm going to say it again. Discipline yourself. Discipline your mind. Rest your body. If it can wait, it can wait. If it's not life and death, it can wait. Okay? Rest, rejuvenate, replenish, and keep your eyes on the targeted intention. Okay? Whatever it is you're creating, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, if it's in peace and all that jazz, don't lose sight of it. Whatever it is, don't lose sight of it. Keep going. You're on the right path. You've been on the right path. I'm proud of you. That's what I was. Okay, that's it. Yeah. All right. I'm proud of you. The divine is proud of you. Keep up the good work. Stay blessed. Like, share, comment if you dare, even. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.